We move to the other big issue. The Indigo crisis of early December is no longer just about delayed and cancelled flights. It's become a test case of how Marquee Board, a seasoned CEO and a dominant airline can all fail to anticipate a slow-moving storm that was visible nearly 2 years in advance. Now, the government has already begun crackdown. We've shown you the pictures. Let's go across to our guests, even as they have said that Indigo is going to curtail its operations by 10% now across the board. Dr. Ranganathan with us, M.R. Sivaraman, former DGCA with us, and Group Captain M.J. Vinod also with us. My namaste. Thank you for your time. Former DGCA Sivaramanji, is the action taken appropriate? And the other question is, where is the DGCA, the current DGCA in all of this?
Well, as far as the action is concerned, they had no other alternative but to take some action now when the crisis on hand. As far as DGCA is concerned, I think I already mentioned to you that according to Section 4 of the latest Indian Aircraft Act of 2024, he is the supreme authority as far as security and safety of passengers, etc. are concerned. Government does not have any power to issue any directions to him on this matter. Although government has got powers to issue directions on certain other matters, but not on security and safety of passengers, etc., etc. You can go through Section 4 of the Act, it's production of the earlier Section 5. Therefore, when this FDTL was announced in 2023 October, at that time itself, the DGCA had a responsibility to set up a monitoring group or a monitoring officer to check whether these airlines are following the FDTL which has been laid down. Irrespective of the fact, the matter went to the court. The court would never decide any matter concerning the safety of passengers or safety of an aircraft for which the DGCA has been appointed as a statutory authority. Therefore, the DGCA on his part has probably failed to set up a monitoring group or a monitoring officer to ensure that his directive on the FDTL was properly being implemented on a timely manner. It all came to a head only in December or probably the end of November, when probably Indigo thought that they could get over it and they did not bother to implement it. So this has been a failure. I won't blame the government because the government doesn't come into the picture at the stage when the FDTL has been issued by the DGCA. DGCA should. And as far as the Indigo board is concerned, I'm sure that the Indigo board is totally responsible in this matter because of the fact this is a major policy decision which may involve the airlines recruiting more pilots, training more pilots, or even having a proper rescheduling of their flights, which the board should have taken a decision. The board never took a decision. Now they say they are going to put some officers of the Indigo Airlines under the bus. This is not done. What can the poor officers do? You will just put them under the bus or throw them out of the jobs, which is not done. The major policy decision was that of the board of the Indigo company. And there are independent directors who are responsible for the stakeholders. And here the stakeholders are passengers. I think they have failed in this matter.
Right. We're just going to check in that meeting and the pictures that have been put out by Rammohn Naidu, if Faiz Ahmed Kivdwai, who's the current DGCA, the IAS officer from Madhya Pradesh, if he's there in that meeting and if he's present, if this is happening in his presence. Because the other thing, Dr. Ranganathan, is that November, the second phase had come. There were 22 regulations, as Rammohn Naidu mentioned on the floor of the House. 15 came into force from July. The remaining 7 came into force in 1st of November. Also, each of these airlines, based on the sectors they were operating, the kind of aircraft they were operating and the kind of schedules that they had come and requested for certain amount of leeway. In this case, this Indigo CEO standing with his hands folded, sitting with his hands folded today, whether he's saying namaste or he's saying sorry, I do not know, that is open to interpretation. But did they not know through the 1st of November? Did they think that they can perhaps blindside the government or bulldoze the government into submission and seek an extension until the first quarter of next year so that they don't have to incur additional costs of hiring, etc.?
There are only two possibilities here, Anand, and I speak as a layman because there are exalted experts on the panel that I can see. One, that the Indigo officers and officials were working in direct collusion with either the government or the DGCA. And number two, the Indigo officials were absolutely confident that the DGCA and the government would have absolutely no clue as to who, what, where, when should these laws that have come into force through a High Court directive should be followed. So they took their chances. Now, either of the two things could be correct, but here I want to say one thing. In science, when you do an experiment, you always run a control. It's called a control, either a positive control or a negative control. It tells you where you stand. Now, out here, yes, you can say Indigo was finding it difficult, wanted leeway, wanted extension because it felt the laws had come too soon. What's the control out here? The control is that a 10,000 crore loss-making airlines company followed the rules. Air India. The control is that a 2,500 crore loss-making company, Akasa Air, followed the rules. The control are these. What is the test? The test is that a 8,500 crore profit-making company, Indigo, did not follow the rule. On that evidence alone, the culpability is criminal. Now I want to come to the second point, which is more important. Out here, it is very clear, and as the ex-DGCA chairman has also alluded to, it's very clear that those who lit the fire are doing the firefighting. Now, that is unacceptable to me. What is also unacceptable to me is that when the rules were brought about, because clearly the safety of the passengers was being compromised earlier, hence the new rules. The moment you say that we are putting the rules in abeyance, you are in contempt of what you brought in. Now, who is liable for that? You can say, oh, well, we'll take our chances that till February, when we have given the extension, there will be no accidents. But supposing there is an accident, supposing the pilots don't get enough time away from flying and there is an accident that happens, God forbid, who will be responsible then? So you brought in a law to check the passenger safety and you yourself have violated the law. There are two criminal contempts that I can see right away, but I am a layman. I don't know. Please ask the professionals.
Group Captain MJ Vinod.
Anand, again, good to be on your channel on this particular topic, and I am not speaking for or representing Indigo or for that matter on this subject. Let's just look at logic. Scientists are sitting here. Let's just look at logic. Indigo's losses are far more than a few bad days of cancellation. By airline's own admission, it paid out 1,400 crores in refunds and disruption costs. Some analysts, especially the financial pundits, are saying 2,500 to 3,000 crore hit it is going to take in next year's earning alone. 3,700 crore Indigo's market value is wiped out. Okay, and compare that with the temporary FDTL reprieve to ease pilot rostering till February that it got. Now you tell me, Anand, tenu dikhari aisi karke, will someone spend 3,700 crores? I mean, we have to be practical in looking at this problem holistically instead of, towing the normal lines that, see, at the end of the day, passengers suffered. Like I said, even my own son, he got back in the morning on a train from Kolkata. He got stuck over there. But Tenu Dekariya si karke 37,000 crores, nobody is going to spend. Yes, something has gone wrong, which is the reason why with folded hands, CEO said sorry. So we are thinking that it was engineered. It is far cry, Anand. It is nobody in their sane mind.
Was it supposed to be a small Sutli bomb, but it just blew up and burned the whole house down? That is another question. Let
us come to control.
That is another question which I will pass. That is another question.
So in the controlled condition, they do everything scientifically. Any money-making organization does everything scientifically.
Please, because
yes,
you mentioned scientific advice, please permit me, if you don't mind. Now, this is akin to saying that, why would a hospital indulge in medical negligence, knowing that there is a chance that they would have to pay more than what is the cost for the operation itself? It's a specious argument, because the fact is medical negligence occurs knowingly. Likewise, the Indigo thought they would take their chances. As Anand, you say, it was a Sutli bomb. It blew up into a hydrogen bomb in their face. They weren't expecting.
Right.
Okay, we'll
7,000
park it there.
crores.
No, we'll park it there. Sir, the point is that nobody perhaps would have envisaged that it went out of hand. And was there somebody who thought that they could control it, but it didn't? We'll park it there. As of now, there are actions to curtail the operations and to control it. Sivaramanji, my apologies, run out of time. We've actually got more commercials on the show this evening. So we've got to bail out earlier. So I have to say thank you, and we'll connect again soon.
Last
Thank
one
you.
also,
Namaste.